Welcome to Forza Motorsport and Assetto Corsa Competizione. This is the Acura NSX GT3 from 2017, and this is the Honda NSX GT3 Evo from 2019. Today I'll be taking them both to Suzuka to see how they compare. Yes, ACC does have the non-Evo version, but this isn't really a pace comparison. It's more of a look at how the new Forza Motorsport handles GT3s and tracks in comparison to arguably the premier GT3 simulator around. So speaking of which, as we get the car fired up in ACC, you see the bumps are pretty pronounced over the curbs here, whereas the whole experience seems a lot smoother in Forza Motorsport. And here in the S's, I get a bit of oversteer, clip the inside curb, and around I go to the barriers. Similarly, in Forza, I just touch the grass to destabilise the car, attempt to enter the corner before I fully recovered it, and the rear overtakes me. So as we go into the hot lap down the start-finish straight, you'll see I don't maximise the track width fully into turn 1, but these are the results of a couple of 20-minute sessions rather than sweating out setups and total perfection. I will be showing a side-by-side comparison between this lap, which will be a 202.1 versus a 202.0 from ACC at the end of the video. The main takeaways from this is that Forza looks, sounds and feels softer and smoother than ACC, which seems a lot more raw. In some ways, I'm feeling similarities graphically between this and the experience in F1 23. I am able to brake 100%, lean on the traction control somewhat in places too, and on the curbs, as you'll see here, going into the first Degner, the car is way less unsettled, although it was a little bit there on exit, than it is in ACC, which rides the curbs a lot more severely. But as you can see here, fully on the brakes into the hairpin, and then early full throttle, lean on that traction control to get a good exit, and that's precisely what I do in ACC as well. Bear in mind, GT3 cars are supposed to have traction control and ABS, which can be globally switched off in Forza, leading to a less authentic experience here in my opinion. It'd be much better if those were just enabled and disabled depending on the attributes of the car you've chosen. So as you go around Spoon, I get a little bit of understeer, but still manage to get a reasonable exit onto the straight on the way to 130R. As we plough down, I'm thinking about my turning point, which I do get a little bit wrong, but the game is quite forgiving here. Look, I catch a little bit of grass on the inside, but it doesn't spin me around. I get a pretty good exit, hit the braking marker at 100 meters, and go deep. So it could have been a little bit of a faster lap. I think I could have squeezed a 2:01 out of this, but that's life. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it as a comparison lap, and that's a very good experience of what driving in Forza is like. So next we'll go over to the same lap in ACC. As you can see, everything seems a bit more raw. The engine sound is a bit more raspy. Once again, braking into turn 1, I don't use the full width, but more in this case it's being scared of the Honda spinning me around. I don't normally drive this in ACC, so I'm actually quite surprised I managed to get a comparable lap time. You take these S's extremely patiently, just slight brake, slight throttle, just to keep yourself on the inside, and then the final exit here, you just bide your time until you're happy you're not going to run out wide, and off you go. So as we go towards the first Degner, I'm just going to show you the difference between this and Forza. So I was scared to hit too much curb there, but got a lot of curb on the exit, but it bounces me around quite a lot. There's a lot more force feedback at play. Forza's a little bit more muted. Like I was saying, graphically, also the force feedback is a little more muted. You can feel what the car is doing. You can lean on the traction control and ABS, but it's just a little more dull, not as detailed. That's not me being a snob, Sims compared to Forza. It's just the truth. If you race both of these, you will certainly feel less weight in the car and less of the bumps on the track. But you can certainly feel what the car is doing and do enough to get by. So judging by the amount of fun I was having and relative similarity in actually how you treat the car in Forza to ACC, I would certainly urge beginners to use Forza as an excellent platform to learn racing principles, hone their car control skills, and learn racetracks before maybe thinking of moving on to the likes of ACC or iRacing if they wish. Many of the fastest ACC players I've raced with came from Gran Turismo, so maybe there's something to be said for that. I'm going to crank up the volume now though as this lap comes to a close and let you see 2 laps side by side that are very similar in pace. Thanks for watching. Please consider giving me a like, comment or sub if you've enjoyed this and want to see more Forza and racing videos in the future.